You know what? I'm like fascinated with this whole report of the Josh McDaniels thing, like potentially.
So Jeff Howe, Athletic, reporting that the discussion yesterday between Bill Belichick and Robert Kraft focused on the return of Josh McDaniels to the organization. Should Bill Belichick stay here as the head coach?
See, when I heard that, I'm like, okay, well, Billy O's gone. And now if he's coming back, this thing is going to be an absolute ish show.
Well, I think they're just laying out all the different options if he were to come back. And so, I mean, there's a lot of things to consider. And that's why at the top of the show, I was saying, well, of course there would be a million meetings between Bill and Robert if he were to stay. Because if you're bringing back Josh McDaniels, what's going to happen to Gerard Mayo? What's going to happen to Billy O?
Well, Gerard Mayo.
And what's going to happen to Joe Judge?
Mayo is not the assistant head coach. Like Curtis said, it is Joe Judge.
But Wiggy, they were dangling a future in front of Gerard Mayo,
right,
in order to get him to stay. I mean, they've promised him, I would assume, Curtis, that he's going to be the next head coach here. Have they not?
That is what I believe. I don't know, but that's, you don't turn down an opportunity to interview for a vacant head coaching job and just stay because you like, the Red Wing Diner.
Mm-hmm.
Like you do that because you've been promised something.
Well, that's Mayo's first lesson of the NFL. DTA. Don't trust anybody.
But you're going to have, I don't understand what Bill, so what's Bill O'Brien's role going to be? Is not, or what's Josh so Josh is going to be another Joe Judge like assistant to Bill Belichick on the coaching staff?
Right. The exact opposite. Let's say Bill stays and everybody, Courtney and Greg and Wiggy are right.
Mm-hmm.
The last thing Bill needs is more yes men around him.
Well, and the argument against him, though, Curtis, is that he doesn't have enough when it comes to staff, coaching staff.
Mm-hmm.
You look at the Niners or, whoever, and they got 57 different coaches.
Then, hire young, upcoming coaches. Like, where did the Nick Caleys and the Mick Lombardis and
Bill has a trust problem.
Yes.
Hence why he has both of his kids on this.
But the kids thing.
I would never bring that up.
The kids thing is
that's fair to say.
No, the kids thing is cool because a lot of coaches, if they have kids that want to get into coaching, do that. The problem I have, the bigger issue I have, is that
you should have had a couple kids on your staff at Proctor.
Well, they were out doing other things. I could have used them. The problem is you have guys on your staff that aren't. It's like everybody's got to know their role, but they're not willing to accept their role. Wait a second, I'm a play caller. You're a play caller. How does this work when you and I look to be on the same? Like, that's why I never like the co-offensive and defensive coordinators.
While I know they're all play callers, would you trust any of these guys, Joe Judge, Billy O, Josh McDaniels, Gerard Mayo, as a GM?
No, thank you.
Yeah, no, that's not what they do. The problem,
I understand it's not what they do, but maybe they would be interested in going that direction. Josh McDaniels was out on Mac Jones from the beginning, it seemed like. So for you were out on Mac Jones. Shine was out on Mac Jones from the beginning, so he seemed like he knew talent when he saw it.
But he's a play caller, though, right?
I know, but sometimes people can jump from one position.
Well, he had roster control in Denver, and he drafted Tim Tebow, one of the worst first-round picks.
And he
all
traded away Brandon Marshall.
He had roster control in Las Vegas, too, and that didn't work out.
Oh, he traded away Jay Cutler. He did something stupid.
Jay Cutler.
Yeah. The problem.
Who do you think? Great question on the Subaru of New England text line. Who leaked the Josh McDaniels thing? Robert Kraft or Bill Belichick?
Oh, Bill Belichick.
Because Bill wants him back.
Just Bill is doing whatever he can to make everyone know he's not exiting on his own volition.
Right. He's willing to do anything.
Right. I'll differential with the roster. You want me to give up one of my parking spots? Fine. Go nuts.
But what does that mean by Robert when Robert says, okay, we can have, so is it Robert?
Well, Robert is enamored with Josh McDaniels.
Okay.
Right? So he's the one who wants Josh
So
McDaniels,
if he says, hey, I'm going to bring back Josh McDaniels, but do you think Billy O's going to stay around? If I'm Billy O, why would I want to stick around with Josh McDaniels?
There's going to be like 5 guys on that staff who think they're the next head coach.
Right. And here's the other thing. Think about how awkward it is for Gerard Mayo right now, where you get offered this coach in waiting, however it was termed legally, last year, and you're still coaching side by side with the son of the coach you're waiting to replace. Like, that is such an awkward situation. And Courtney, I would just say quickly about the contract stuff, what was harder to do? Get out of your contract or come and sign here?
To get out.
Right. It's always the case.
Yeah, but remember, they didn't want to fire you. If they wanted to fire you, it would have been super easy.
Yep, that is true. I don't like to live in the past. It
I
was a dark time.
Call it what it is. And,
Yeah,
they fired me. They fired me at the other station. It wasn't that hard. They came in and said, I had a contract. They said, hey, come in here, sit down. Guess what? You're gone.
And can I just say one more thing about could McDaniels be a GM, whatever? You guys were like, no, he's a play caller. Good point in the Twitch chat. Wouldn't that be the same thing that happened with Brad Stevens?
Right.
Yeah,
but he coached college.
You could use that as.
I'm just
an
saying.
I'm not
example
saying
of
he
what-
wouldn't be a good GM.
Okay, so that's all I'm saying. I'm saying there are plenty of roles to fill. If you believe that Bill Belichick is just going to be the head coach and they still need a GM,
Yeah.
there's a potential that there are other things going on here.
Why can't we just need to take a step back and look at who we're talking about here? Like, it's just the same guys over and over and over again. And without Tom Brady, they're nothing. They do nothing. McDaniels goes elsewhere. He stinks. And yet we just want to keep running it back. It's like, what are we doing?
They're the same guys who built the greatest dynasty ever assembled in sports.
No, the two guys that built the greatest dynasty, one is retired in like Miami Beach now and loving life after winning a Super Bowl with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
I'm not going to argue this again. So Bill had nothing to do
No,
with
you didn't let me
with
finish. I said the
success
two
here.
guys. Bill is the other guy, and he's on his way out, basically. Like, it's like these other guys were not like part of that. Like they just weren't.
Well, that's ridiculous. Are you a part of this show and the success that we've had on this radio show?
Sure.
I think you're a huge part of it.
But Josh McDaniels wasn't around for the first three Super Bowls.
Yeah, he
as
was.
is Curtis, Wiggy, Courtney.
No, I'm not. But I would say that
Josh was there.
He wasn't calling plays in the first
No, he
three
wasn't
Super
calling
Bowls.
plays, but he was there. He was part of it.
the rest of the NFL is talking about how there may never be another Belichick disciple getting a head coaching job. We're just hiring them all to come back here.
Like, none of them work. Look at what Matt Patricia's doing to the Philadelphia Eagles. He's dismantling that defense more and more week by week. Like, we just keep doing this to ourselves. Why? It's like hitting our head against the wall.
Well, is it
These guys don't work.
and
Bill
this-
is the mastermind behind all of it.
No.
These guys were good here because they fit into the role Bill
right.
wanted them to.
Shime, I agree with you where we should go. If you're not going to bring Bill back, then you go in a different direction. I agree with your Bobby Slovic take, and I'm not saying...
Bobby Slowick, in 2 years, you're going to be beating the table going, what? Get rid of this idiot.
Are the Vikings
They're
really mad that they hired Kevin O'Connell?
Shime,
No,
you deal in these tiny little periods as opposed to decades of success.
Right, but the decades of success have mirrored the people that have departed here because other teams wanted some of the Patriots' magic, and it's not like some have been okay. The vast majority have burned the stadiums to the ground.
And now, almost a half a decade later, post Tom Brady, there has been no success. Like, that's kind of the point. Is it's like we're doing this over and over again when other guys are finding success.
Do you guys high five each other back there during the breaks because you guys are on the same page?
No, it's actually kind
Rubbing
of
each
rare
other's
that
backs.
we're battling in the same bunkers.
That's
So
just interesting.
Do you and Wiggy high five? Would you agree
Yes.
with everything the other says every day?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
oh, shots fired.
Wow, shooting shots at you, Courtney.
Oh, I think Courtney meant to say this, Curtis. Oh, okay.
I
Wiggy.
thought you guys were simpatico today.
He never says Courtney
fired.
meant to say this. Sorry, he gives me credit when it's due, unlike
There you
you.
go. That's what I do. When I
Great
see
point. Don't let him beat you down, Courtney. Great
when
point.
I see credit, I give it to him. And
Yeah.
if I don't agree with you, I don't agree with you.
Curtis and Shime will just take Snake.
That's the type.
Whoa,
Of,
It's Greg. It's sine and cosine.
that's
Coming
the
up later.
that's the type of if you haven't noticed, the type of teammate I am.
Yeah.
When you're not doing your job,
You're-
I
yep. Yep.
When you're
Right.
doing a great
Good
job,
teammate.
I give you good. I
Good
give you
teammate and
praise.
good coach,
Yeah,
actually.
me and
Appreciate
Curtis yell at each other all the time. You've even
No.
commented how he won't look at me when he yells at me.
Right. That's true.
It is scary.
It is concerning.
Keep taking Courtney. Very good observation.
Well,